Hello and welcome back to the 49ers franchise. I'm PG, and in this game, we're going to finish off the regular season with two of our division rivals. First, we're going to start off with the Arizona Cardinals, and then we're going to move on to our hated rivals, the Seattle Seahawks. In this video, both these teams have been eliminated from playoff contention, so they're not playing for much, maybe just for bragging rights. But the 49ers have a lot to lose in this two-game stretch because they could get the number one seed in a first-round bye, and that means in the playoffs. Of course, it's just basic math. The less games you play to get to the Super Bowl, the better chance you have of getting to the Super Bowl. You got an extra week to rest and stuff. Game plan. Here are the standings. The Seahawks and the Rams. Rams losing last week. They're officially eliminated from playoff contention. The 49ers have won their division already, but the number one seed in the NFC still on the line in these last two games, so I'm not going to say they're must win or anything, but if we could get these dubs, we want to get them. And here's Kyler Murray in his second season, of course, the number one overall pick. 49ers ain't happy that the Cardinals, it's bittersweet that they picked him because he usually has excellent games against the 49ers because of his mobility, and he's on display right there, breaking a tackle, spinning out of the tackle from Jimmy Ward and sliding safely. He's so good at doing that, of course. Former baseball player, this time he tries to scramble, and it's Eric Armstead on the contain. Keeping him in the pocket is going to be one of the major things that the 49ers should prioritize, because look at him, just capable of making so many plays with his legs. Eric Armstead down on the play. Hopefully he could come back, and they're going to hand it off to Kenyon Drake. He gets the first down and more into 49er territory. But as I was saying, the 49ers wanted them to take Kyler Murray, because then Nick Bosa would for sure fall to them. But just look what he's doing with his legs, getting to the 3-yard line. Not only is he good at scrambling out of the pocket, as you see right here, just finds the space, but he's also good at protecting himself, which that's just a great combo for any team, especially a team, with not the best O-line. Their O-line is alright, but you want your young quarterbacks to be protected. You don't invest number one pick and want them to get injured. So he's already good at protecting himself. Dante Pettis with the reception gets the first down. He's had an amazing couple weeks, and he looks to keep on adding on to them as his contract. He's trying to look for a second contract. Maybe not with us. Maybe with us. Depends. Our salary cap situation. It's a little bit complicated. We have a lot of players that we're gonna have to pay in the upcoming seasons, of course. Fred Warner, people like that. That's Kyler Murray taken to the ground again. It's Quan Alexander. Too many people blitzing on that read option right there. The other linebacker just took out the running back, and he went for Murray, and Murray does not have any space. He's scrambling outside the pocket without giving his players downfield a chance, really, in my opinion, so far. And that kick it's good. Barely gets over the upright. Barely has the distance, but it's good. As Mostert's going to get the carry right here. Easy first down for him. Beautiful holes created. Beautiful space. Plenty of space for him to work with. Get that first. This 49ers offense looking to respond. Already down 10-0 and in danger of this being a blowout. And as Garoppolo takes the hit, delivers the throw to George Kittle. I don't know why they keep on saying he has 1,000 yards. Even he does. We know that. We know that. It's going to add on to that total here. Another easy first down. 49ers should have quite a few Pro Bowlers on the team. And funny enough, I mean, Tevin Coleman, he has to be in that discussion, honestly, with just his nose for the red zone this season. Nose in the red zone this season. Nose for the end zone, I meant. 49ers here, forcing another 3rd and long. Garoppolo barely gets the throw off. He was under pressure. And Ayuk was wide open. Probably a touchdown right there if the throw was more accurate. But the 49ers come away with 3. As we said, the Cardinals, they have nothing to gain in this game other than bragging rights. As Murray stays in the pocket with his height. That was a concern coming into the draft. Like, can he really, I mean, just simple stuff. I mean, his height, that's an impediment to him. But he finds DeAndre Hopkins right there. And that nearly could have been a touchdown if Mosley didn't drag him down from behind. But as I was saying, I mean, those offensive linemen, they like 6'5". A lot of them are. That's probably the average. So, I mean, just his height, he probably can't see over them. He had a defender in his face on that one play that I'm still talking about. As he should have thrown an interception right there. Maybe he didn't see the defender. But he had a defender in his face, and he still got the ball there. Impressive with his height, and he's going to take off again. And nobody's there. Nobody's home. Nobody is paying attention to the scrambling Kyler Murray as he gets his 2nd rushing TD of the day. And just his feet. So I said it's bittersweet that he was drafted by the Cardinals. I mean, we got Nick Bosa, but they got someone that directly counters us. 49ers, of course, built on that pass rush, and that's a terrible throw by Garoppolo. It's picked off by Patrick Peterson. He's dragged down by George Kittle. And that's quite literally the worst, I mean, barring a pick 6, that's one of the worst results they could have asked for, as the Cardinals can now score before the half instead of the 49ers maybe getting points. Maybe they should have played it safe and just ran the ball, gone into half. And they're going to pay for it. 49ers down 20-30 going into the half. 20-3 going into the half. Cardinals up in every facet of the game so far. This 49ers offense has looked pretty sluggish. And their defense has had a tough time containing Kyler Murray so far in this game. As we head to this Panthers and I was going to say Redskins, but football team game. Panthers looking to get their 10th win of the season and maybe get into the playoffs. Steelers not having the best season, as Roethlisberger's looking terrible on the day. Colts, not either. They're not having a good season. Definitely not the teams that we see in real life in this alternate timeline. Falcons, 7-7, maybe could sneak into the playoffs with 9 wins. I have to take a look at their division. As Garoppolo comes out. 3rd quarter action. They get the first down right here. They need to get a score in one of these drives. And this is going to help as Mostert is racing down the sideline. And he's going to get into the end zone right there. I'm sorry for not being excited. I don't know why the play was cut off there. But we saw him utilizing his speed. All they need to, that's just the thing. I mean, that has to be motivating for this offensive lineman, for these blockers, because all they have to do is give him a little bit of space, and he does the rest with his elite speed. Just like Kyler Murray does the rest with his elite speed right there. He's pretty much a running back out there. As you see again, he's going to find space. They need to put a spy on him. They need to put a spy on him, but I don't know if they have a linebacker that's fast enough. But, I mean, at least just to contain him. Make sure he doesn't get a huge chunk gain. As right there, they have people watching, eyes on him, eyes in the pocket. And it's Quan Alexander recording his second sack of the game. Wasn't really a snack. Snack. Oh, sorry, I just came out of class. But wasn't really a sack. I mean, he kind of just stood there and tackled him. He wasn't really rushing. DeAndre Hopkins almost scored right there. Interesting to see what they're going to do in the red zone. And they're just going to hand it off to Kenyon Drake right up the middle. Once they get that close to the red zone, it's really hard to stop. I mean, this team specifically, because you got to watch those Kyler Murray read options. You got to watch all of that. As Kittle picks up the block on Mostert, he gets some yards. But you got to watch those read options to the outside. Got to watch, I mean, of course, just the nature of a read option. It could be a run play up the middle. It could be to the outside, stretching the D-line. So, I mean, it's just very hard to stop with a quarterback like Kyler Murray. It's just so quick. And he's going to hand it off to Kenyon Drake here, who is quiet. He's been overshadowed by Kyler Murray's rushing day. But, I mean, he's had a great day on the ground as well. He's been getting it to Hopkins as well. All of their players making plays. All the players you would expect. And on 3rd and 8, they're going to hand the ball off and get a first down. That's kind of embarrassing. Caught the 49ers defense sleeping. As you see, he's almost, Kenyon Drake, almost close to 10 yards. No, not 10 yards, 100 yards, the century mark. Oh my gosh. I am not ready to commentate right now. Look at Hopkins' block on the outside. Plenty of space for him. And they're just playing smash mouth football against this 49ers team. That's our thing to do. We like to control the trenches on offense and defense. Run it down their throats on offense and just shut their run game down on defense. Control the trenches on defense. 4th and 1, they're going to go for it here. In this game, I mean, barring some type of miracle, it's almost out of reach. And they scored a touchdown there. It's already out of reach. 49ers are going to fall to the Cardinals. Just a terrible defensive game for them. Their offense couldn't get anything going as well. But you can't allow 34 points. As Garoppolo will be stripped. And he puts the ball on the ground and they recover. And they get a field goal. Just wasting more time. 4th and 10. Garoppolo sacked again. Not a great day for our offensive line. At least in pass protection. And that goes back to the defense. I mean, we want to run the ball more often than not. Mostert had a pretty good game rushing. But we were just down for most of the game. Just Kyler Murray's ability to get out the pocket. And also, I mean, Kenyon Drake, that alleviates pressure from him because we can't just focus on him. We got to keep our eyes on Kyler Murray as well. So, I mean, it's a good tandem that they have down there in Arizona. And that's without... that's just their run game. Without DeAndre Hopkins, they got D-Hop, of course, one of the top receivers in the game. They got other good players, Isabella, Christian Kirk. I mean, they're a good team. And they could beat us on any given day. In fact, I mean, they counter a lot of what we want to do. But luckily, we're not going to see them in the playoffs, at least this season. So, that's a relief. We don't really do good against mobile quarterbacks, especially someone who has elite mobility like Kyler Murray. I feel like I've said Kyler Murray about 1,000 times this video already, but he's just that guy for them. I mean, those sack numbers, they're kind of inflated a little bit because it wasn't like we were getting a whole bunch of pass rush. Those were more of just heat. I mean, I don't know. Give them their credit. Give them their credit. But it wasn't like we were collapsing their pocket. It was more of just he was trying to make plays outside the pocket, and we were watching it. So it wasn't really like pass rush sacks. More of just pass contained sacks. And here we're gonna. I mean, enough about the Cardinals. We are on to the Seattle Seahawks, of course, our heated rival. And of course, Week 17 last year, #1 seed on the line for the 49ers. Playoffs. I mean, it was a a lot on the line in that Week 17 game, and that's a classic game. I mean, I kind of feel like rewatching it right now. I mean, it came down to 1 yard. 1 yard determined so much for the 49ers. They got the first round bye, but as you could see, not that much pressure on the 49ers to win this one. Not any pressure on the Seattle Seahawks to win this one. With that loss last week, the 49ers, I think, are eliminated from not playoff contention, but getting the #1 seed. We can't get the #1 seed anymore. So, I mean, this game, it's more of just, I mean, we want to beat down our rivals, finish the season strong, get some momentum. We don't want to. It's just bad to go into the playoffs with bad momentum. We've been playing bad football of late. Let's get our momentum back. Let's get a win over the Seahawks, our rivals, that pump us up, give us some momentum heading into the playoffs. As I'm on this first drive, Russell Wilson's going to connect with Greg Olsen, who's had you could see, almost 1,000 yards on the season, almost 80 receptions, 8 touchdowns. He's had a resurgence in Seattle. He's been kind of like that Jimmy Graham type of shell of their former self. I mean, of course, his best days were in Olsen's best days were on the Panthers down there in Carolina. But I mean, he stepped up. As Russell Wilson, a reliable target for him, and he's, I mean, reinserted himself as one of the top tight ends in the game, one of the best players at his position. Who would have thought? Such a resurgence from him. It's the Seattle Seahawks on this first drive. They're just driving, milking clock, just inching towards the 49ers end zone. Dorsett with the catch. I mean, of course, the receiver duo, Lockett and Metcalf. As Lockett, as soon as I say his name, he's gonna get this touchdown on the quick slant. Very hard to play man coverage against this team. Very difficult to play man coverage against this team because he's just, I mean, of course, Metcalf, Lockett, very difficult for anyone to match up against. And Russell Wilson's so good at just stalling, giving his receivers time to get open. So, I mean, very difficult to play man coverage against this team. Garoppolo on the season not having the greatest season, of course. I mean, our turnover problems heavily storied. We've lost a lot of these games thanks to turnover problems. We should probably have like 12 wins at least. At least, I'm going to put a number on it right there. 12 wins at least if we cut down on those turnovers. It's Garoppolo play action. He's going to check it down to Tevin Coleman, who has space. And these offenses, I mean, it's rolling so far. Nice little play design right there. Now they're going to pitch it out. Blockers in front for Raheem Mostert. And they're now on the side of the field they want to be. on the side of the field that puts up points. Seahawks 6 on the D-line, and they still get destroyed up front. Jerick McKinnon getting a carry here, gets an easy first down. You saw that pancake block on the left side right there, just beautiful. We just mauled them, beat them down. That's what we do, except for last week apparently. It's Kendrick Bourne's gonna get the catch right here. Only 2 pass attempts for Garoppolo. And the 49ers doing what they usually do, off play action. Garoppolo, nice throw to Deebo Samuel, who's nearly gonna score. But I mean, that's why I think that's part of the reason why we've been losing these past couple games. We've gotten away from the run game. We're down too early, and then we can't get this. I mean, our team is built off the run game and the play action from the run game. That's pretty much most of our passing game. We ain't going out there and letting Garoppolo just step back the whole game. As on the QB sneak, the Seahawks are actually gonna stop us on a 4th down. Garoppolo missed a wide open Kendrick Bourne on the curl route right there. So I mean, just a beautiful defensive sequence right there for the Seahawks. This defense, I mean, of course they still got some playmakers. They got OG, Bobby Wagner, of course traded for Jamal Adams. 49ers were in the discussion for getting the Jets safety, but they didn't end up getting them, as Garoppolo is nearly intercepted by, I think that was Jamal Adams. I think that might have been Bobby Wagner. I mean, fitting that as soon as I say their name, they're going to make a play. Garoppolo out the pocket. He's going to check it down to George Kittle. Probably should have got it out to him sooner. At least gave him some momentum to cut up field, maybe make a play. As beautiful defense right there by Richard Sherman. Of course, playing against his former team. And he has the size. As Fred Warner's going to sack him down and he's going to play the guitar. He's a rock star this season. Making just so many plays. He just plays with a certain swagger to him. As the utility man is going to get the first down and more. He's not a fullback. Remember how many times I gotta say that. He's not a fullback. He's a utility man. As Garoppolo should have thrown it away there. He's gonna be taken down by Benson Mayowa. It's 3rd and long now. Completely different, as Garoppolo's gonna give George Kittle a chance, and that's too predictable. Is that Quentin Dunbar with the pick? It is. That's too predictable. He has to get some arc on that if he's going to take that throw. I mean, despite the 49ers' offensive struggles this game, how slow they've been, how sluggish they've been, they're only down by 7. Their defense has picked it up, and as soon as I say that, it's Metcalf over the middle. Elite speed, elite size. He's good. Seattle now in the red zone as former 49ers running back Carlos Hyde just trucks Richard Sherman. 2 teams looking to just prove something against their old team. Of course, Carlos Hyde was talking down on the 49ers as that Philip Dorsett is going to score. And Seattle scores. I mean, that was a perfect drive right there. No time for the 49ers to respond. And the 49ers will head into halftime down 2 scores. I mean, we'll watch this return. We'll see what happens. I mean, Dante Pettis fields it. Doesn't get much space. I mean, 30 yards. 30-yard line. That's alright. Now a turnover would be detrimental right here. And Garoppolo's going to play it safe. Check down George Kittle. They're going to take a shot at the end of the quarter. Garoppolo's going to take a shot, and it looked like it was nearly in the hands of George Kittle, but he wouldn't have been able to score anyways. At the end of the first half, the 49ers down 14-0. Their defense has had a passable game. but their offense has just been sluggish. Haven't been able to get anything going. That interception actually pretty costly. And just this thing, I mean, just that sack. That sack, taking that sack proves to be something that costs the 49ers. I mean, 3rd and long, that limits the amount of plays you could run. Saints destroy the Panthers, but I think the Panthers are good for the playoffs, and we could actually be facing them due to all the seeding and all that. That could be our opponents in the first round. Saints, I think, have the #1 seed, so I don't think we had a chance, really. Even if we won these 2 games, we'd only have 12 wins. They ended up with 13. Garoppolo's going to step back to throw. Tight space, and it's batted around, and it's intercepted by KJ Wright. Just another costly turnover. Now Seattle gets the ball on the 30-yard line. Great position to score. That's off the hands of Samuel. I mean, good throw actually by Jimmy Garoppolo, just to fit it in there. I put that one on Debo. And they're going to give it to Carlos Hyde, and he's going to, with the amazing effort on the play right there, he's going to reach into the end zone. And the 49ers are getting destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks at this point. And it hurts that it's Carlos Hyde right there, as Garoppolo's going to take a shot to George Kittle down the sideline. We need to find him. We need to find our playmakers. This offense needs to wake up if they're going to win this game. Garoppolo, another play action pass right there. He's going to find Jordan Reed. I maybe kind of forget about him, but I mean, his career's been ruined by injuries, but he's one of the top tight ends, definitely one of the top backups in the NFL. 49ers get the first down here, and their offense after that play by George Kittle, you know that he's the spark of this offense, as Mostert almost gets into the end zone, but he gets clobbered by Jamal Adams. But they're going to give it to Juice, the utility man, and he's going to get into the end zone easily. Spike it down, fella. Spike it down, fella. You should be in the Pro Bowl as well. Of course, yeah, I mean, he's one of the... A lot of teams don't even have a fullback on their roster, but he's very important to what the 49ers do. And with that catch, I think Greg Olsen is over 1,000 yards. An impressive season. An impressive season. Return to form for Greg Olsen. You wouldn't expect it either. I mean, his career, I mean, as... Oh my gosh. That's, oh my, beautiful double move right there from Tyler Lockett. And we're going to take a look at this, man. He beat Sherman, just made him look silly. Fake to the outside, got Sherman's hips a little bit turned, and he just uses that speed discrepancy to just create space for Russell Wilson to get the ball to. And Javon Kinlaw stuffs this run. He's so strong. He's so strong. Just tackling through that offensive lineman. And on 3rd and goal, they're gonna play it safe. They're gonna take the 3 points, checking it down to DK Metcalf. Sherman right there on the tackle, but I mean the blown coverage by, I wouldn't even say blown, but Sherman got beat in coverage, and that's what put them in the position to score. And the 49ers are gonna come out. Kittle down the sideline, and they're going to respond immediately on the first play. They get the ball back. It's George Kittle. He's the one. He's the life of this offense. And, I mean, they're doing what they need to do. Get it to George Kittle. He gets all those guys in the sidelines pumped up. He gets the fans into this game. He gets them hyped on the sidelines after he scores. He just has that aura to him, as Russell Wilson's gonna scramble outside the pocket. It's ripped up by Fred Warner and picked up by Jaquiski Tart, and this 49ers offense is back on the field, and this team looks to be, I mean, this is the spark they needed. See, Fred Warner, eyes on him the whole game, keeps him from going out of bounds and just rips him out. That's bully ball right there. 49ers still staying with this run game though, and why not? Because they have some playmakers in the run game. Home run hitters in the run game. Of course, I mean, we saw Mostert in the last game. He had that 50-yard plus run. They're going to give it to him again. He finds space. Just another good play right here. But, I mean, time's a-ticking. We still need 2 scores. 2-score game still. Play action. Pressured. Surprised that throw came out that good. How did he even see him over there? It's almost like he has a third-person view. As they're going to run it for the first down. I mean, this team, even when they're down, they could run it because they make plays in the run game. They get chunks in the run game. As Garoppolo is going to use his feet, there's nobody to look. There's nobody watching him. There's nobody watching him. I mean, of course, doesn't have the speed of Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson, but he could get outside the pocket if you give him space. Tevin Coleman, nice physical run right there. They're staying with the run game and they're getting plays. I don't think the Seattle defense is really expecting them. They're expecting them to just drop back and throw, but now they're running it as the defensive line gets some penetration right there. He's taken back. 2nd and goal. Garoppolo's going to step back to throw, and he's going to find Trent Taylor working on Jamal Adams. I mean, Trent, nothing to be ashamed of Jamal Adams. I mean, Trent Taylor's a pretty damn good route runner. And look at Jimmy Garoppolo taking the hit. That's OG Bobby Wagner coming in on the hit. I just want to look at his eyes. Let's look at his eyes. I want to see his face. He's like, oh. I'm in a hard fall. But look at him. He's Seahawks looking to milk time and maybe add to their lead. Wilson's going to scramble to the left, throw across his body, and that's an easy interception for Richard Sherman. And the 49ers, they're pumped up, they're hyped. They are back in this game. They were down 21-0 at one point, but they're making the comeback. All the momentum on their side, and this offense is already back in the field, hopefully not worn out. The delayed give to Mostert, it doesn't get anywhere. Bobby Wagner was expecting it. And it's 3rd and 6. This 49ers offense, I mean, came into the game after the big play. There's nothing here. Garoppolo is sacked. All this momentum on their side, and it's completely quelled right there. That fire is quelled, at least on that drive right there. Russell Wilson has a chance to close them out. He's only had 3 incompletions on the day, one of them being an interception. Just very efficient, picking apart this defense. It's going to find Tyler Lockett. Just milking this clock. I mean, surprisingly, they're dropping back to throw a lot. It's Fred Warner. Already had the sack earlier in the game. Of course, he had the strip on Russell Wilson. He's having himself a day right here. As Carlos Hyde is going to break a tackle, shoves the side of the defender, and he's going to get the first down. Usually not known for his pass catching ability, but nice yards after the catch right there. As 49ers send the pressures, Dre Greenlaw unblocked. And this Seattle offense, they're not content with just running the ball. They're trying to pass. They're trying to pass, but at this point, the 49ers defense, they've expended all their timeouts, and this Seattle offense could just kick a field goal. Carlos Hyde on that play, I mean, not known for his pass catching ability at all. But, I mean, he was wide open. I mean, it's pretty much a run play. He just has to make the catch. Physical running after the catch. And the 49ers still have a chance. But Seattle is in... Oh! And I was about to say their chances a lot better. But Kittle dropped it right there. Sorry for not getting hyped. I'm trying to talk at the same time. They check it down to Kittle. And that's exactly what they didn't want right there. Tackled inbounds, and they're going to have to spike it. And it's going to be a Hail Mary attempt. Seattle can just sit back. And it's going to take a miracle! And it's batted away. And this 49ers offense couldn't get the job done in the clutch. They just needed a few first downs. They were within 3. But an exciting game nonetheless. Exciting game. It doesn't really mean much. But the Seahawks have the bragging rights. And you know them dudes in the comments going to go tell the 49ers fan pages. Be like, how y'all playoff team, lol. How y'all are trash. Let's take a look at the stats. Russell Wilson didn't have a monster day passing, but just extremely efficient. 90% completion percentage. That is incredible. George Kittle, of course, had a great day. A few big plays that brought us back into the game. Of course, some nasty turnovers on the day, but we forced some turnovers. We haven't really been forcing many turnovers this season, but today we did, and hopefully we carry that on into the playoffs. Fred Warner, with that performance, he might have put himself as the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. As you can see, I mean, we started off 7-0. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but look at how many the losses just kept on stacking up. We went 3. What was that? 3-6 for our last 9 games. Just tough stretch for the 49ers, and back-to-back losses against division rivals. Just not the type of momentum you want to bring into the playoffs. Not the type of momentum. But with the conclusion of that game, of course, I mean, it was week 17, the last week of the regular season. We have our opponents set. We have our opponents set. And look at all these upgrades we're getting. We're getting ready for the playoffs. We're looking to prove everyone wrong. They were like, oh, the schedule was easy. That's the only reason why y'all made the playoffs. Y'all just caught fire against some bad teams. And when you face some good teams, you lose. No questions asked. And we will, in fact, be going against the Carolina Panthers. Fred Warner got Defensive Player of the Week right there for his excellent performance right there. And of course, I mean, with this Panthers team, who do you have to watch? Christian McCaffrey. I mean, they have some other players as well, Curtis Samuel and Robbie Anderson, but I mean, they have Teddy Bridgewater as their quarterback. So I mean, he's solid for them. He's solid for them. Not to discredit anything he's doing, but Christian McCaffrey, their offense runs through him. And well, I mean, of course, that's going to be our top priority on defense, is to shut him down. Oh, and we're in as the 4th seed, the last division winner. So, I mean, this is pretty tough, NFC. I mean, if we were the 4th seed with 10 wins. Anyways, I mean, I'll see you in next video. It's playoff time. We finally have caught up. I still have to play this game right now. All those other games we've been watching, I've already played them, like, way long ago. Sorry. I'm sorry. I will be more consistent. And it's kind of frustrating watching the old videos. I'm like, I wish I would have done this, but like check these stats or something like that. It's too late now because I mean the stats are already like updated like a few weeks. But we're fully caught up. And I mean, things, we gotta kick it into high gear here. It's the playoffs, and then we're gonna have the off season, and that's when it's gonna be really fun, when we have these created players into our own universe, these rookies and stuff. That's what I love. I mean, just the draft and things like that, trying to find hidden gems. That's my favorite part about these franchises, and watching these young players grow and these old players retire. Anyways, this video is already like hella long, hella long, so I ain't gonna keep you here any longer. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.